You go out, you bust your butt every day as hard as you can, give 100% effort so that people will give you an opportunity. You do everything right, and then you go home and you...
Yeah! Don't even start. We'll get on that shit a little bit later.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
What the hell is going on, good people? What's up, guys? How's it going? How the fuck is it going?
What the? Did we make it out of the snow?
Product placement, he already.
Yeah. Shout out
to PJ's Coffee. Matter of fact, go ahead and start with it. Go ahead, get your pub on right now. Get your pub on.
Yeah, please do.
PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. This is actually a pretty big brand of coffee in New Orleans.
Okay.
Now they actually, cold brew coffee. Mm-hmm. This is the first company to do cold brew coffee, right? So they have a lot of spots in New Orleans, but my cousin just opened up the first one in Dallas, and it's on 13605 Midway Road. So right there near Addison and all that kind of stuff. So it's been doing well so far. So it was packed the other day when I was in there, and I've been hearing good things. So and I tried.
So you went into a packed place in COVID.
It was on Sunday, so
Sunday coffee and it ain't packed.
So what you were saying, it was the Lord's gift?
Yeah, But I didn't go near closing time, but I went nonetheless. Beautiful shop that she's got. She's got all kinds of different types of coffee, and they're really good. They really good. I'm not just saying that. They're good. She's got different kind of pastries.
There you go.
You get all kinds of New Orleans stuff in there as far as food. Coffee type food, not like dinner or anything.
I was about to say they got crawfish, cuz?
No. But it's a great shop. Stop over there, black owned by young black women. So
there you go. And we in Black History Month.
It is Black History Month now.
It is.
It is. If you have not been following my Instagram or motherfucking Facebook, you should know by this time it's Black History Month. You gotta give it to you, boy. I keep it with the zingers this whole month. It's been a good 20 plus days of good zingers. You had
this motherfucker I had a meme for every goddamn day, man. That's a damn shame.
I had a meme and black knowledge on my stories. If you haven't noticed, I said I followed up trying to be funny with something real serious. Give you just a little bit of the culture. Just trying to spread the culture.
Just try to sprinkle some shit on just a little bit.
Just sprinkle me, man. I don't wonder if anybody was following the pattern of it.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, so that's no, maybe so. I tell you what. But that's good shit. That's good shit. Of course, we got a good ass show for you today. Been a while, again, these time periods that we take. I mean, they're great.
Hey, we got snowed out. We got a legit reason why we couldn't do it. Nick, we was rolling blackouts and shit.
Now, before we get to that shit, though, I just got something to say because this just happened not too long ago, and you know how I get on these fucking these things, right? So I am not 100% comfortable, nor do I like the mere fact that a 16-year-old, 17-year-old that's at the grocery store cards me when I'm buying a beer. I went to go buy my beer not too long ago, right? A couple hours ago. And this 16-year-old,
please.
That motherfucker said, "Do you have your ID, motherfucker? Do you have your ID?"
Pops. ID.
Hey, I need verification.
No, fuck that, man. Then
it might be an old ass baby.
Man, old ass baby. What am I, Benjamin Button motherfuckers going in reverse? No, fuck that, man. I just looked at him like. I just, again, obviously he's a kid. He's closer to my kid's age than he is to me. So I'm like, I'm not finna just say no stupid shit to him because he's not gonna know what to do. Could be his first day. Could be his first week. So I'm gonna leave him alone.
Yeah,
but At the same time, I still give him this look like, are you fucking kidding me?
I
got a whole dad bod, a beard.
You do have the dad bod on flex.
Shit.
But I mean, like I said, he was just reading out of the manual right there, man. I mean, give him a little bit. Let him get his gears greased up a little bit, and he'll understand it.
Phrasing.
That was the point.
Yeah, fair enough. Look at that perfect product placement over there with Jamal.
Hey, shout out. Hey, that might be a sponsor in a second now. How much coffee they selling over there? Huh?
I'm trying to tell you. But on the cool though, I do plan on going there very soon. It'll probably be like later on this week or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even drink coffee, but I can go spend some bucks. I'll go spend some bucks.
Yeah. Holla at him. The owner's name is Brittany. She was the tallest girl in there, so you'll recognize her.
By tall, how tall?
She like 6 foot, something like that. Yeah, so
smooth breathing athlete material.
Married woman, happily married woman.
Yeah, I would guess that.
He had to throw that in there though real quick.
She owns a business at 6'1" plus and all that shit. Yeah, somebody better scoop that up.
Yeah. Say somebody better
somebody, if nobody starts, somebody losing like motherfucker.
Like a motherfucker. Well, shout out to Brittany and PJ's Coffee again. Go check it out. 13605 Midway Road, Addison, Texas. Just go check it out.
Right down there.
There you go.
Yeah, it's where everybody passes through, where traffic's the worst. Go on and take your little break off. Right down Midway and get you some coffee or something.
And if you're COVID paranoid, there's a drive-through for you as well. So.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So y'all said, so y'all gonna be? What you say? They're gonna be delivering here in a little bit on group.
They got
group.
Yeah, go ahead and grab a bit. I'm sure they'll get up there pretty soon.
They got gator tail vignettes. Anywho, so to the meat and potatoes of the show today. Again,
are we in the meat and potatoes of the show already?
I mean, we can
7 minutes in.
We can segue. I mean, you know. So, again, that motherfucker got another call. Yeah. So, but
that should be a thing. You know that, right? That should be every time we segue. That shit should change.
I fully expect the shit at this point, right? But again, people in Texas that you know that are listening, and obviously outside, you probably already know what went on last week. Texas, it shut the fuck down yet again because of some snow and some ice and some freezing over and all this other shit. But wait, now this isn't the first time that Texas has shut down when shit like that happens, right? Now, the younger that you are, to me, the younger that you are, the more that you kind of like, oh man, it's snow, oh yay, and you go out and play in it. Like the older that you get, especially when you have responsibilities like taking care of a house, homeowners, or you just have a lot of shit that you didn't accumulate. It's like, I don't want this to fuck up, and it happened again. We knew it was coming.
Phrasing.
And then but we knew it was going to happen. Simon.
There you go. Look at somebody learning on the fly.
Yeah. But yet still we were not prepared. Now, obviously, there's some seriousness to the shit. At the same time, like what
we are not trying to bring to the table right now.
Well, not yet. We're gonna get there, right? But like when it first jumped off, I was like, man, this is so pretty. And then it's like, oh man, the snow's coming out, the ground's kind of getting white. It's like, oh man, this is cool. This is so cool. 24 hours
until
later,
it wasn't cool.
Yeah, 24 hours later, step outside if you want to. You're gonna bust your ass, cuz.
Yeah. Say this is the thing, and this played on the Texas arrogance, because I think that's a thing. Like Texas, we're an arrogant state just as a whole. And I mean, people around, if you're not from Texas and you come to Texas, or Texas people go to your state, they let you know they're from Texas. Like it's a thing.
Yes.
This played on a arrogant like persona of Texas have, like, man, we don't need anybody. This, you know, if the grid shuts down, we're not connected to the national grid. We got our own down here because we're Texas.
Which I never knew.
Exactly. So it's one of those things like, but when shit like this happens, where you get torrential snow, basically a blizzard. It was a blizzard. But you know, we're not used to a blizzard. We get snow. I know we're used to dusting, but 10 years basically to the date, we got snow like this before. And to me, it's like we didn't, as a state, we didn't learn shit from that because we shut down when that shit happened. That was around it actually happened 2 years in a row, 2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken. When we had the All-Star game and the Super Bowl back-to-back year, we had motherfucking blizzard snow. That's the shit that, hey, yeah, that shit don't happen often, but hey, the higher ups, the powers that be, hey, man, you see, it can happen. Please think of that. When this happens again a decade from now, because that's what it's trending toward.
We'll say that's the going rate. That's the going rate.
Yeah. Happen again next year. So, like, please, hey, man, I'm not asking, but am I asking for too much?
Yes.
They're giving billions.
These motherfuckers bought great value generators and shit. They got their shit signature select thumb.
To me, and then I have said that there's no way 2 days of snow, because that's really what it accumulated to. That's a good 2 days of snow, 2 days of snow, and a week of cold literally brought Texas to its knees.
The entire state.
And to me, I'm not saying shit shouldn't have changed up because of, you know, the weirdness of the weather pattern with the shit, but 2 days of snow and a week of cold should not bring a whole. Texas being itself is a region of the nation. Should not bring a whole region of the nation to its knees.
Yeah, true.
Maybe I'm asking for too much.
I mean, all you need is a warm cup of coffee.
Plug it.
Can I put some yak in that coffee?
You can put whatever you like in the cup, as long as you got the cup. But no, like, first of all, Simon's right. Like, even if it doesn't happen that often, you have to be prepared for things that don't happen very often. You know what I'm saying? It's why you have homeowners insurance or car insurance or health insurance. Yeah, like
that's why we're paying these premiums, right?
You don't plan on having a heart attack no time soon, but if it happens, you need to get some help.
I need coverage.
You need some coverage. Shout out to Darnell. So,
and if you need insurance, holler at our boy Darnell McCall. He got everything you want, and if he doesn't have it, fuck you.
Upsell, baby.
I got a superpower, bitches.
We'll go ahead, Mom.
Oh yeah, but basically, you have to winterize your infrastructure as far as your not just electricity, but other things. You know, like water and other essential services, because it happens. It's not just like this never happens, right? You know, if this were like, I don't know, Key West, Florida or something. All right, Key West, don't worry about it.
Right.
It really might only happen every 20, 30 years. But it gets cold here all the time. Like honestly, it could snow here every year. It's just we don't necessarily get the precipitation at the same time we get the cold. But every year it is cold enough to snow. It's just not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily snow though. And so this can happen. There's no reason this couldn't happen next year or the year after or anything like that. So you have to be prepared for the fact that, hey, if this happens, we don't want to have to shut all our power out. What are the things that we have to do? Which clearly you can do it. There's cities in fucking Minnesota in Wisconsin.
Right.
Keep power all throughout winter. There's clearly a way to do it.
Clearly.
So take those things that are common knowledge everywhere else, apply them here. It might be expensive up front, but it's a lot less expensive when your whole state doesn't get shut down and you don't have whole apartment buildings getting destroyed from the pipes busting and water going throughout every unit and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
And that a little upfront, and it's one of those things where, like, if it had happened and we were prepared enough for it, then nobody would care. Like you wouldn't get any credit for that, right? Because the power doesn't go out and shit doesn't go haywire, and it's just a regular day. Like nobody gets a pat on the back for that when the disaster doesn't happen, which is why politicians don't value it, right? Because okay, let's say I do it, but I'm still not going to get any credit from you. So
and that's a good segue, because we got that question right there, which is a good question. What do y'all think about the 4 board members resigning from ERCOT today because they don't live in Texas in the backlash of these $15,000 bills?
I mean, you knew something like that was about to happen. Especially with politicians and all this type of shit, especially since we're seeing that we weren't prepared, it was going, the reaction was always going to be, it was going to be reactionary. Right. It wasn't going to be on time to what, if you motherfuckers would have known. It's like, and please don't have one of them motherfuckers live up north where their shit is winterized and they can deal with shit like this. That would make it even worse, right?
You guys,
but to me, it would be like, okay, you live in a situation where this, and this is hypothetical. I don't even know where the 4 board members fucking live. But if one of them did live up north, like, nigga, why wouldn't you pass that knowledge? You work in the energy company, so you talk to other energy. That's the circle you're fucking in. And up there, like, hey, if certain things like this happen, what do y'all do? Or what do y'all do to prevent losing power throughout a whole fucking state?
They pray to Biggie Smalls if they from New York, son.
And to be honest, there's other plans you can make as well. Like, I don't necessarily think you need to buy snow trucks or anything. It doesn't happen that much. No. But you need to have an emergency plan where you have agreements with other cities that are in places that do own snow trucks. Hey, if we have some shit, we have the right to
the panhandle, like Texas panhandle. Them motherfuckers deal with snow every year.
Yeah, like you don't have to take all that shit because they might need some of it too. But you just have an agreement. Hey, if some shit happens here, send 2 trucks here, and then we'll get 2 from another city, 2 from another city. And you just piece it together until you have coverage everywhere you need. As the same with tow trucks, like you don't have to buy the infrastructure. You can just make agreements with other places to rent the shit. You can
rent the motherfuckers. Yeah.
If the shit comes if the shit actually happens. Now you have to do that ahead of time though, because once the shit has already happened, there's not enough time to get all that together.
Well, I mean, I'll put it to you this way. If we got an Uber to take us to and from the fucking bar, we can have an Uber to have some fucking snow trucks coming to the city. I'm just saying.
I mean they try to make it seem like it's so simple for, common folks to be able to do, simple shit like, hey, when a natural disaster happens, hey, government, that's what we pay taxes for. That's what we do all this shit for. Y'all are the ones that are supposed to think of shit that the common folk, us moving around, are not thinking of, right? That's what you get paid big bucks for. I know, and I get what's called ERCON. They're the manager of the grid. They're not the actual grid. And I get that. That is a distinction that should be made.
Yeah, they're just passing the buck at this point.
Exactly. If you run the grid, you should let people know because it came out that like 70, 80 out of the 600, 70, 80, or maybe around 100 plants weren't winterized for this shit. So it's like, what the fuck were y'all doing to just let them be, and everybody else had to get their shit up to code but them. But it comes down, we didn't have, in Texas we deregulate, so the free market controls everything, and all that bullshit everybody likes to say until they don't want to say it no more. They want to blame it on motherfucking windmills and shit like that in West Texas.
The fuck? Yeah.
We get less than what, 10% of our energy from that, and you telling me they're the one that caused the whole state?
The whole state.
Am I supposed to be that dumb?
Look, I'll put it to you this way. Well, at work, I talk to people all the time, right? And so, last couple of weeks, every day, with the exception of last week, everybody, they call in pissed off or whatever the case may be. Man, I'm telling you, the last couple of working days, like, oh my gosh, are you guys okay down there?
They think it's a war zone down here.
It is. Shit. Motherfucker, y'all was going up.
Look, I milk it. I don't like some people be on calls like some people be on calls like, oh no, we're all right. We didn't lose power, but shut up.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
This is not the time to one up everybody.
We've been through some things. Remember that thing that was supposed to be due today? I don't have it. Okay.
I don't have it. I need to go pray to.
Take advantage, baby. Take advantage.
My babies are buried in snow. I gotta go dig them out. I'm sorry. There was an avalanche.
And all I got is a spoon.
There was an avalanche. I stepped outside my house and the snow just started falling everywhere. It's crazy.
I didn't get a chance to pray to Russell Wilson today. God damn it, man. He has not blessed us with his presence yet.
Side note, Russell Wilson real mad at Seattle right now.
No, he's not. Anywho, but now I got another question for you because I don't like the motherfucker. Don't get me wrong, but I just thought this shit was funny. Mr. Ted Cancun Cruz.
The most unopportune time to go on vacation, my nigga.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is this, okay? I, as a politician, no, you cannot do that kind of shit, right? Because again, you're in public office. People vote you into these situations. You are supposed to be here for the people. As a father, man, fuck y'all. I got some shit to do today. Don't get mad at me because I can catch red eye to motherfucking Cancun and y'all can't.
It wasn't a red eye. That nigga had police escort to the motherfucking whatchamacallit, bro. That nigga milked the whole joint of being a public servant.
No, God, man, he milked all of it. Now, they're talking about you want to be there for your wife. You talk about the same wife that Donald Trump was talking shit about. You ain't boxed up with her. Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Tom Tucker upside down face.
Man, the fuck out of here. Matter of fact, Ted Cruz, this is what you get for this shit.
Hey, okay, I'll start this one off because me and the wife did have a discussion about this shit, and it wasn't that you going on vacation. We all knew if we all could get up out of Texas last week, we would have, right?
Yeah.
But nigga, you are voted in by the people, for the people, of the people. When the people need you, your ass was like, yeah, fool. And the thing was the audacity of it. It wasn't that he went on vacation. It was like this nigga went to a public airport, went to a public terminal with public police. And it was just like, nigga, yeah, fuck all y'all. I'm out this hole. And it was just like, bro. Like, it's 80 degrees today. If you left today, nobody would have said shit.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Nobody. You couldn't wait 3 more days.
Hell no. It's cold. It's cold.
Nigga was about to be hot. It literally got hot last week. It's just still.
I would have made it down to Cancun in 2 hours, and I would have been kicking it for 72. Man, I'm good.
Because the cold part about it was, and this was funny about it, that you knew he didn't understand. Like he can read rooms, but he can't read situations. This is what I took
like
from
a
this.
Motherfucker.
He can read a room because he got voted in. Obviously, he reads people very well, but he can't read a situation. The nigga went down there. I'm pretty sure he didn't even splurge for the motherfucking Wi-Fi on the phone. So the nigga didn't get no alerts until he got to his motherfucking till he got to the to his room, and then he looked at his phone. It was like, shit.
Oh, and then
because they already got a picture. They got a picture of getting a margarita on the beach. I know he was at to be like, man, fuck.
Man,
I gotta go deal with these motherfuckers.
Man, I'll be there in 2 hours, cuz. And then, and then I forgot about that again. Thanks, Marsha. And they left the dog at the crib.
It was like, fuck that dog.
Dog, I would never do Tyson like that.
Like they don't allow dogs at the Ritz, bro. So.
yeah, it ain't happening.
Man, if you didn't want to, take the dog as a support dog. Dog, we got Tyson got a license and everything. Man, I can take him on the plane anytime I want to.
Wait, your motherfucking dog got a license.
If you want, he ended up in the buffet.
Yes.
Yeah, he gonna end up in the buffet like a motherfucker.
Shit. Nigga, I let somebody try to run up on Tyson if they want to on that and catch. Gonna catch these fisticuffs.
Gonna catch it.
Interesting.
Them fisticuffs right there. The most.
I'm gonna hit you old. I'm gonna hit you old timey. Yeah, nigga, with it there.
Ass nigga. But it's good that we can laugh about it now. But again, on the serious side of it, god damn,
please,
like this was the first time in any place that I've ever lived, right, where I was actually petrified, like, oh shit, maybe these pipes can burst, like, because the first day. I didn't drip the faucets. You see it when you live in apartments and shit like that. You see it all the time. Oh, drip your faucets. It can be cold. Drip your faucets. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up, right? But this time around, like seeing other people's issues that they had with their pipes and all, I'm just like, oh, like
my shit we almost had a situation. I give credit to Witch. She was like, well, she was overthinking the shit, but I'm glad she did.
Shit, goddamn.
The first day of snow, when it got down to -3 or whatever the fuck it was, and our kitchen faucet froze up because it's on an exterior wall, so
right,
the pipes are right by are basically exposed to the outside. Right. So I was trying to run the water in the morning. I was like, oh shit, This shit is not working. And she was like, well, we're gonna get the space heater and put it under the this and that. And she was on online all night, looking up shit, conspiracy theory type shit. So she went in there and did her own thing, and a few hours later, I turned the shit on and the water was working. I was like,
yeah,
you just $2,000 or some shit like that.
Man, easily. And my ass, my retarded ass, I was like, well, let me see what 1 degree feel like, right? So I walk outside with my shirt off and thinking that shit cute. No,
it's not.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
I did the same thing, and I have these gloves, like these wool gloves. They're really fucking good. So I go outside. I went for a little walk, right? Just like, let me see what this shit feel like. So I go out there. I'm walking. I'm like, this ain't that bad. So then I pull my phone out because I want to do something on my phone. So I pull my glove off.
Right.
I probably made it 20 steps before I realized, am I in danger right now? Because my hand, I can't feel. I was like, okay, this is the shit they be talking about with like extreme cold, where
and they had the Bernie mitts on.
I mean, bruh, I took that glove off thinking I was like, and I swear I made it like 20 steps. And I started looking back like, am I gonna be able to make it home before my hand falls off? Because my shit is cold.
With your ass trying to go see the scenery and shit.
Yeah. Once your hands get cold or your feet get cold,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And then my dumb ass, I tried to go out there in some black Air Force Ones, not knowing that they got the little air pockets in the top of the mode. Man, my left toe was frozen for 6 days. That motherfucker just got dry today.
Well, remember I sent y'all that text that I didn't realize all my shoes were bullshit until it snowed? Because I was out there walking around in New Balance and shit. Yeah, and snow once it hits your shoe, it gets a little wet, and then you get gets wet and
Crazy.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Damp.
and this is where like we went skiing. What was that, last year in November? So all our ski gear came in handy. It is like, oh shit. Yeah,
You didn't realize it was a survival retreat when you was at.
Yeah, we were in Utah. We might have been at one. We was in Utah, you know.
No, but again, like I said, a lot of people had a lot of shit going on, man, and it's just sad. I know insurance companies are catching hell this week. A lot of people starting to. And one thing I will suggest to anybody, right, is when you have these insurances, these warranties, and all this other shit, man, read that motherfucking paperwork, because especially with homeowners insurance and shit like that. Because
that's one of the things we had to. And I'll give credit to the wife on this one for being fucking anal about it. She was
you
like,
must be in a doghouse. That's 3 times.
No. Come on, man. Because she's an overthinker on a lot of things, especially fucking a natural disaster fucking happened outside. So she's just going through kind of paperwork and stuff like that, and because it kind of mirrors what she does for work. So that's what it does. So she was just like, making sure, if a pipe bursts or something like that, it's covered. And she in the fine print, and that shit wasn't covered. And it was like,
ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch?
And so it was like, that's why when I was saying that's one of the reasons why she was so on it about the pipe being frozen, because she was like, nah, son. I was like, no, you got a point. I just stepped back and was like, if you got a plan on something, I'll help you execute it. But hey, you know more than me at this point. So let's just want to do what you do. But that's, like you're saying, like that's the thing, like that's how they get you in these situations, because nobody in Texas, we're not thinking we're going to get a blizzard and we're going to have pipe bursting. Like, that's not on the top of our list. A tornado,
I'm not going to pay the $5.
Yeah. Bro, a tornado? Yeah. We'll pay the $5 for the tornado. But I
just had shorts on the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's a blizzard today?
It's a blizzard, exactly. Shit, I had on shorts early today. Matter of fact, I caught myself trying to save some energy and some electricity and shit like this. So I cut my motherfucking heater and AC off today. I was hot in the motherfucking this goddamn room when I was working. Yeah. Fuck that. Shit.
You didn't have a fan on?
Man, it ain't working. Shit.
It's still frozen, nigga.
The fan bus?
No. Oh, it's on. It's on. I'm just hot in this motherfucker. Like I said, I didn't have nothing on. The damn sun was beaming through the window, man. Fuck no. Shit.
So you didn't close the blinds?
Nah, man, it's beauty outside, man. Things are out there. We just saw like a blizzard. It was too much going on. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was fucking horrible. Y'all kiss my ass, okay? It was fucking horrible last week. We made it through though. We made it through.
Yeah, we did make it through. We did make it through.
All right, so
no, but no bullshit to everybody that was no. Before we go on segue, to everybody that had something happen, and I mean, we all got thoughts and prayers for you, because I know everybody. I know some people's pipe bursted, flooded their whole joint, and all this shit.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, man, it's one of the more fortunates. I hope everybody's all right. As much as we make light of it, but it was fucking for real.
No, absolutely. Well, like you said, segue. So, doing this whole hiatus that we had, a couple of things, or one kind of cool thing I think happened during this whole time frame, and that's the beauty part of doing it today as opposed to like last week or maybe even the week before then.
Yeah, we couldn't do it last week. We've been frozen.
the stock market kind of made a little bit of a, oh shit. The poor people, they done figure some shit out, like, oh, this is how you can maneuver the stock market. This is how you can do this. This is how you can do that. I thought, again, if you've been hiding up on the rock, like, what was that, GameStop and what other company?
AMC.
AMC, their stocks kind of rose up, right? Not kind of, they skyrocketed.
Yeah, they went through the roof
really fucking quick, and it kind of changed some shit. It's short term and long term. We'll get into the long term here in a little bit, but I was me personally, I was happy to see that the common man, the not everybody is this nigga over here and look at this shit just because he like doing that kind of shit. Yeah. Figure out, yeah. That and not that guy, like, and just do this shit. I'll look up, how do you make cognac? That's my lookup, right? His Google search is, how do we invest?
What is the long term? What is the 6 months? And the 9. What the
third? Is it?
I don't think Google is that specific.
Third.
What is a 6 month and 9 month?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
One day it will be though. One day it will be.
Well, the return dividend on the ROI was, nigga, what?
Nigga, what does that mean?
Yeah, but I was happy to see that, whether they, it was organized in the beginning or whatever the case. I was happy to see that people starting to really get start to make their. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on, man. Like not everything is something that's going to be handed to you, right? Like, sometimes you got to go out, you have to do your research. Sometimes you have to see how things are. Whether you win, lose, or draw, you got to go out and fucking do it. And so with these stock surgings, that put 1% on notice like a motherfucker. Like, hey, we can lose
so much on notice they had to stop this shit.
They had to stop it. So, Mile, here we go. Okay, everybody get out your dictionaries.
No. I'll make it real simple, right? So the crazy part about it is now that all the sort of banks and establishment and media really are all upset because these traders, these supposed Reddit traders did this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something crazy like they're talking about, oh yeah, we need to investigate this type of trading. It's like it's not something that they did that isn't done every single day on Wall Street, right? It's just done not by the people who they wanted to do it, right? Because all they did was buy the stock. They didn't do any fancy. The banks are the ones who do fancy schmancy shit, right?
Right.
Like the regular people, they just literally press buy, and that's it. That was the extent of the exotic bullshit they was pulling off, right? What was up?
No, I'm just saying.
You buy?
I'm regular people buy.
Yeah, you just hit buy. You just hit buy. That's all they were doing, but they want to act like now they did coordinate it, but that's not illegal to coordinate. No. People confuse that with insider trading. No, that's if I work for Apple and I know the new iPhone blah 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 is coming out, so I tell somebody that's insider trading, right?
Shout out to Martha Stewart.
Over that, but if I'm outside of it, if any of us just say, hey, all three of us we gonna buy whatever tomorrow. That's not illegal, and banks do it all the time as well.
Right.
And so they got caught with their pants down because they were short selling this stock. And basically, I'm not going to use any of the finance words for it, but
just give them an easy what is short selling.
So short selling is basically if a bank thinks that the stock is going to go down or they want to push it down themselves, they'll sell it short. So all the short sell is, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Here's an iPhone, right?
Okay.
We all know when the iPhone comes out, it's expensive. Oh, babies. It's expensive as hell. It's like 1,000 something, whatever, depending on which one you get.
Right.
But then what happens after a year of that iPhone being out? The
becomes obsolete. Right? Yeah.
The price drops and the new one comes out, and that replaces that as the expensive one. The old one becomes, it might be $600 instead of 1,000 or something like that, right?
Right.
So if I wanted to short sell this, I would say, okay, LP, let me borrow your brand new iPhone that you just bought for $1,000, right? Let me borrow that, and I'm going to sell it. I got $1,000 in cash now, right? Because somebody paid me full price for a brand new iPhone. Right. I wait a year, and then the price drops to $600. I now buy back iPhone because I sold yours. I don't have it.
Right.
I just had $1,000 cash.
I sold it.
Now buy back for $600, and I keep the $400. Right. I keep the $400 because now I can give you your iPhone back and say, here, you got made whole. There's your iPhone. But I only had to pay $600 for it when I sold it for $1,000. That's what short selling is, right? And so they were selling this stock. Yeah, they were selling this stock short, and they were also trying to push it down because if you think about it, selling something short also has the effect of pushing it the direction that you want it to go. Because the more sellers there are, that's when the price goes down. When you see the numbers in red, that means there's more sellers than buyers, and in green, opposite, right? Right. So by me borrowing a share I never bought and then selling it, I automatically forced the price down, especially if I collude with other banks and we all do it at the same time. We're all selling it at the same time. And then when it gets down to $1 or something like that, we'll buy it back and we'll pocket all the difference. Right. And so these traders basically, because some of this stuff is public, so these traders basically picked up on this and saw, okay, they got this huge short position is what they call it. And they had done it to such an extreme, because this is the crazy part. They try to blame the Reddit traders, but they had done this to such an extreme that they shorted 140% of the stock, meaning they shorted more shares than there even were. Right. Meaning they're shorting some shares, multiple times, right? And they do all this on leverage. This is where they get their ass kicked.
Not even using their own money.
They're not using their own money. So this is where they get their ass kicked, because the people who lend them the money to do these trades, they say that it's called margin, right? And so they basically say, okay, we understand. They're not in the dark about what you're doing, right? It's all up front. So they're like, okay, you're going to sell this short. That's fine. Here's the $1 million to do that. Right. But if the stock, because when you short a stock, your losses are infinite, because a stock can only go to zero on the downside, but it can go up to infinity, right? There's no limit on how high a stock can go. Right. So when you short sell, the higher the stock goes, the more money you lose, right? And so these lenders who lent them the money to leverage the trade so that the returns are even bigger, right? They say, okay, well, if it goes up 20%, I'm calling the loan. I have the right to call the loan, meaning you have to give me my money back.
And that's in the paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give me my money back right now by law. No ifs, ands, or buts, because I see the direction of the price, and I know if it keeps going up, you're going to lose all my money, and I'm going to be, out.
We'll say this is where I'm stopping at. Fuck you.
And so it has when they say a short squeeze, when a bunch of investors get together and they all buy a stock that's being heavily shorted like this. The reason that it goes up so fast is because it forces those sellers. So say it's going up 20%. My lender says, hey, bitch, give me my $1 million back. I see where this is going. Right. So now I'm forced to go back and buy the stock myself. And it doesn't matter what the price is, because my lender says, hey, this is in the contract. Sell that shit, give me my money back. So I am forced to buy it. So for these short sellers, they basically were shorting this thing at like $4 or whatever. So it's going up to like 400. So that means they have to now buy back. Say they bought 100,000 shares. They have to buy back 100,000 shares at $400. And so this is how they ended up losing their ass, right? So it's their own fault. They got caught with their pants down. And it's something banks do amongst each other all the time. It's not they catch each other in these games all the time, and it's not there's no love.
But they loaning each other money the whole time. So it's like monopoly money. They don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. But they all understand this dynamic. So they know, hey, okay, if I see a stock is being heavily shorted, and me and a couple other hedge funds can get together, buy a couple million shares, drive the price up all at once, all their margins get called, meaning all their lenders say, give me my money back. So now they're forced by contract to buy the shares back, which drives the price up even more for me, right, who's on the other side of it. So that's all they did. And it's done on Wall Street every day, but because regular people figured it out, they didn't, or really, it's not that regular people didn't understand it, but they were never coordinated enough together at once to make it happen, because there's no one individual who's going to be able to move a stock.
Right. Hell no.
Millions of people or thousands of people. Yeah. Even in small amounts, especially when a stock is $4, like it don't take nothing for if 100,000 people all decide to put $100 into it. I can
Right.
really push it up. So, and so that's what happened. But it's crazy how you see like the media and all these other people turn
freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like, bro.
I thought you were for the people.
Yeah, I mean, and here's my thing, because like I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Oh yeah, well it's stupid because it's manipulating the market." I'm like, one, this is not something the Reddit traders made up, right? They got this playbook from.
They're just playing the game that's in front of them.
Yeah, they got this playbook from Wall Street, right? That's who taught them how to do this. So that's number one. But number two, people, and it's a weird thing in this country right now where it's always people want a free market until somebody gets hurt. It's a free market does not mean it's free until somebody gets hurt. It means it's free and
it's
free fucking market. Right.
We know some people are gonna get hurt, but we all know on the other hand, some people are going to be helped. And that's what free market is.
Yeah, the free market is like the majority of the free market, wherever it leans, that's where it's gonna go. And it's like there's gonna be carnage. That's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. You're free to fail and you're free to succeed. So,
and it's put in like situations like this, and this is where the plus of like social media is, right? Like situations like this, it's putting the power back into the average person, right? To where, okay, you can make your own fucking decisions. You don't have to worry about this or that and the other shit. Make your own decision, do your own research, figure some shit out for your own goddamn self.
But nobody wants to do that anymore.
Well, no. People are doing it now. Like that's why shit like that is happening, because people are doing it now.
No, I understand that, but those are like what I feel like what happened with the stock market with AMC and GameStop. I feel those are out of the norm, quote unquote. Most people don't want to go do their own research. As much as we love, as much as we like, hey, now Google search that. Like, we need to know. Are we saying something that's factual, or are we just talking out of our neck? Most people don't do that. And in my eyes, this is my opinion. And it's like nobody has to agree with that. But to me, how I think at this point, people are like, there's certain segments, and it sounds conspiracy theory-ish, that are taking advantage of groupthink. And that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of people that think in a certain way, and it's not like I think it's nefarious to a point, but it's a way to, there's always think tanks and this, that, and the third trying to get people to lean this way without them even knowing. And that's it's documented. Like, we see that shit all the time. Like, I do group study and group surveys type shit all the time. Get paid, and sometimes pretty well. But that's the thing about it. They're trying to get the gauge of where, quote unquote, the common people are, so they can kind of
and that's fine.
That's the thing, and it's everybody just goes in that direction,
right? And that's fine.
Somebody knocks it off. Somebody knocks that shit off that direction,
right?
You're the goddamn devil.
Well, it's some COINTELPRO type shit, right? You got some people that's going in this direction, and then you got these other motherfuckers that are gonna try to cut you off, and you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I do again, I like it again for the common average person, right? Because again, like again, especially people in perverse situations, right? They're in those situations, they don't see any kind of outlets, but you have, did I have a Robinhood account? No. You know what I'm saying? Did I, I had an E-Trade account, or I have an E-Trade account and all this other stuff. Yeah. But like giving someone the opportunity to say, okay, I have a chance at doing something, right? Like, I don't know, millions and millions of people have done it, but that story of it's never been
so accessible.
Right. Like, yeah, exactly. Like again, we clown about it all the time. Like when we used to have to buy wasn't no Google search. We had to buy encyclopedias A through Z, and that bitch was $20 a goddamn book. And the book about that goddamn thick. You know what I'm saying? Like just having having that avenue for people to be able to at least have an option at the shit, I think is a beautiful fucking thing. Now, if you lose your ass,
yes. Yeah.
if you lose
I
your
agree
ass
with
off,
you
you
on
lose
that.
your ass off. Because at the same time, when Jamile was talking, a lot of it sounded like somebody selling dope. Say, nigga, front me. You know what I'm saying? This.
Oh no,
it's
smooth.
To me, it sounded like El Chapo and them. You know what I'm saying?
It's the dope game.
I mean, in a sense, I mean the same.
But that's why they get mad at El Chapo them, because that shit.
Because markets are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Markets are all the same. Like it doesn't matter whether you're selling a stock or whether you're selling cocaine. Like the same principles in a free market will prevail, right? You can do the same shit. So in a way, yeah.
That's why everybody loves to come to the Americas to sell their shit.
Yeah. I mean, now what I'll say is like now I learned two things out of this whole thing. And it's funny because even really sophisticated investors learn certain shit. Like I was listening to this lady named Kathy Wood, who she runs something called the ARK Fund. It's like the best performing fund in the world right now. And she was like, I didn't know you could short sell a stock 140%. She was like, I didn't know you could do that. And she's been in the market for 30 years. You know,
you short sell a stock 40%.
Because it's illogical. So why would you think that?
Right.
So she never even thought about that as a thing. But she was talking about that. So I learned that you could short stock more shares than are even out there. And I understand how, but that can happen. But then also I learned about these online brokers, right? Because so I have regular investing accounts, but I also have a Robinhood, mainly because Robinhood, I'm not gonna lie, it's convenient as hell. Like
you see what I'm saying?
It works and all that kind of stuff is real convenient. But of course, I always had the knowledge that, you know, when somebody doesn't charge you something but still provides a service, that means you're the product, right? So I knew in some way or form they were selling something. I figured it was data or whatever, just like all these other social media networks, right? And it is data, but it's a weird way. So it's called order flow, right? And so basically what happens is the way they make money, because they don't charge anybody for trades. Normally, like most brokers in the past, you know, it was always like a fee, like $6 a trade or $4 a trade,
right?
You know, whatever the fee was, and they used to always compete on who could have the lowest price per trade, right? But Robinhood came out and was like, nah, we're gonna do away with all fees. Every trade is free. And I used to always wonder, like, how the fuck does that even work?
How the fuck are you gonna make that work? Yeah.
And so what they do is, because they have all these millions of people who are trading, they actually sell what's called order flow, meaning all the orders, all the people who are hitting buy and all the people who are hitting sell. They have obviously they have to track all that, right? And so
algorithms.
They take all that and they sell it to the banks, namely Citadel, which is actually the owner of this hedge fund that got blown up in this whole GameStop thing. So that you can see how Robinhood ended up having to shut down trading on that because, you know, their biggest customer, I think they get 40% of their revenue from Citadel, right? And so basically what Citadel does is they take this order flow from Robinhood, right? So they know all the trades that all the millions of people who are trading on Robinhood are going to make, and they can front run the trade, right? So if they see, and it doesn't have to be a lot. So they see, okay, all these buys are coming in.
That sounds illegal in a way.
It should be illegal because they use what's called high frequency trading, which is computers. Right. You can trade in milliseconds.
Pow. Algorithms.
So they see our trades coming in. They say, okay, they're buying Apple. Apple's about to go up because you can see the volume of trades coming in on Apple. So we're going to buy it in front of them, and then we'll sell it to them for a little bit more. It might only be a couple cents more. Might be 5 cents more, 3 cents more. But on millions of trades, day after day after day, that shit adds up, right? And so they front run all the trades on the upside and the downside, and it just takes a little bit away. So instead of you buying a stock for $1.15, it may be $1.18.
Right.
But artificially, you should have gotten that $1.15. That was what they call bid. That was a real price of the stock at the time. But because they got your order and they're in between your order and the market, they can front run your trade, and now you have to you get a price that's a little bit higher, and they take the difference.
So what you're telling me is it's always the best to be the middleman.
Yeah, basically.
Well, again, if you've sold drugs, if you've done anything, it's always the best to be the
So
middleman.
I mean, anybody who's on Robinhood, I would encourage you to get off.
Yeah,
like
you have to get off now. You have to get off now.
I mean, if for no other reason, because other discount brokers do this. So now Robinhood kind of pioneered the whole model, but of course, once your competitor goes to zero on their cost, like what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Yeah.
So a lot of the other ones have followed. So Fidelity is a good one. They're not as fast, but they don't sell your orders to banks. So you gotta take your pick your
take your bunch of and again, it just makes it accessible for other people. Like, because when I started doing this shit, I think I put like $50 in some shit. You know what I'm saying? And I went with E-Trade because they fucking had a commercial, right? That was the commercial I was saying. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I got a smartphone now. Let me download the app. It's a lot of people. They see those commercials or they see those kind of things going on, and maybe they feel intimidated by it. But hey, look. Don't feel intimidated by it. Go do it.
Everybody's intimidated by the shit they don't know.
Absolutely. Fear is a motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you when you fear some shit, shout out to white people, you try to demean it as much as possible. But at the same time, hey, man, go out there and make it happen. Like this dude, like that's one thing I will say that, between 2020, COVID, and all this other shit that's going on, that's one thing that I saw that I was truly, just again, as an average fucking human, maybe even a below average human being, that I was excited that people were actually fucking doing. Like, I don't give a fuck what's happening with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. I don't give fuck you, TMZ. I don't give a fuck about all these celebrity shits. Say, man, let's put money in pockets.
That's what gets clicks. That's what gets clicks. Because like I said, when nobody knows about stocks, we all know about Kanye and motherfucking and Kim Kardashian, like,
because
we know that that's a safe click. That's a safe way. That's a safe safe place to be. Like, well, this is not going to go too far outside of my realm of being able to understand. Like I said, you go to a motherfucking stock website, and like Jamal was on there, I was short selling and this and 100% there, and well, like motherfucker will be like.
But see, that's a mindset thing though, because you ever notice, like,
of course,
like for instance, kids who are bad in math or bad at math, right? I mean, they just don't understand. They just haven't gotten the concept yet,
right?
But there's a point where if they are bad for long enough, then they start thinking, I can't do it, or it's too hard, or just the thought of it makes them get confused because it puts them in a certain mind state. They can walk in a whole nother class in a subject they like that they think they're good at, and they have a whole different mindset. It's no fear, it's no anxiety. They go in there, they enjoy it to the extent you can enjoy it.
You remember doing that as a kid?
Yeah. So people feel that way about stocks and things because, and I'm not saying it's not a conspiracy, but every field has its own way of talking, right? Even inside companies.
The lingo. The lingo.
If you read LP's work emails, there's going to be acronyms and words they use in there you don't know shit about, but inside of his group, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
So it's the same with stocks and things like that, but it's not complicated. There are aspects of it that are complicated. I'm not going to say it's all simple, but to be an actual good investor is not as complicated as people think. Right. It's just buying and selling. It's a market. That's all it is. And people innately understand those concepts.
Listen, at the end of the day, if I did the Trump shit. If I can spend $100 in a weekend at a bar and buying some liquor, God damn it, I can spend $100 to try to make some extra money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it boils down to. Give the people the fucking options, man. And that's what the people fucking need. Period. Yeah. That's what they fucking need.
And this is where I agree with you. And I'll piggyback off of that with us having the options. This is a thing that me and my we're looking at right now. It's like, man, fuck all, trying to, like you said, learning all the intricate lingo of the stocks and stuff like that. I'm looking at stuff like, man, hey, what the hell do I think is cool? and if I think that shit is cool, there's somebody else probably that thinks that shit is cool as well, because it's out there already. So why don't I try to go and then that be my basis of what I want to invest in? Like if I think, like like the 4K camera or the 8K camera in NFL. Do you
I
think
still
that
got
shit
that
is
hoe.
cool? Yeah, exactly. If you think it's cool, hey, I'm not saying go put $1 million or put all your life savings into that. But hey, if you think it's cool, go do your little research on it. If you think it boom, 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 oh, man, this might be something to invest in. You know what made me think this might be something to invest in? But when I seen it on the NFL, then I seen that shit in UFC. And I was like, okay, somebody else picked that shit up. And I
First
was
of
like,
all, and it's also in WWE.
of course.
Don't you count Vince McMahon out. Don't you ever count Vince McMahon out.
Vince McMahon
The
gave
Miz
us
is the WWE champion, baby.
he gave us the wire motherfucking camera thing that every major stadium had. We know if you know, but if you got it, everybody thought it was cool when they saw it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
My point exactly.
But you just have to look at. It's so easy to read the tea leaves, like, and now you have to prime your mind to do this, right? And over time, this is why it's good to start even with something small, because once you put money into it, right,
it makes you.
You're going to
focus.
You're going to follow it, and you're going to pay attention, and there's going to be other little things that pop up that you're going to start learning. Because, okay, think something that's been real big this year. Okay, we see all these electric cars coming out, right? And you also see that like companies like Ford are announcing that by 2030 they're going to be producing 80% electric cars.
Right.
So you don't think that's going to cause a massive shift in terms of everybody over the next 10, 15, 20 years is going to be buying electric vehicles? That's not going to impact certain industries in certain ways that weren't there before, like batteries.
Right.
So like right now, a lot of things are going up that are associated with batteries or battery companies themselves, because okay, if you got to make 1 billion cars that are all use batteries, well then guess what? The battery companies are gonna go through the fucking roof.
Right.
And that's why Tesla has been going up so much, because Tesla not only makes cars, they're also the biggest battery maker in the US. So eventually they're gonna start selling.
I need to invest where they get their copper from.
Exactly. Copper's done very well this year. So it's silver. So
anytime I see on like any news station like such and such stole some copper out, I'm like, a nigga hit a lick. Shit. Oh man, my new home just got built. The AC unit copper is gone. They just invested in the stock market, man. I mean, what can you do?
I mean, they just trying to get how they live.
But once you start priming your mind like that, you'll start seeing it everywhere, because it's literally everywhere. Because things are always changing. There's always somebody winning, somebody losing, and that wealth transfers.
Yeah,
and you gotta get in between it.
You just got to get in between and catch your wave, and then you know what I'm saying, maneuver around it the way that you need to.
It's us, just as humans, as they make it easier, like you were saying with the what were you saying with the trading, with the instant trading thing. Like it's just catching the algorithms of it. Like it's just being able to see through, like just quantifying it to your simplifying it to yourself to where it's like, oh well, shit, and it don't fight against that feeling that it's like, if I'm seeing that means something. If you're seeing it, then that means something. Then act upon it. Don't be scared to act upon what you know that you're seeing.
Yeah,
because I think it's always the little voice in your head is like, well, what if it's not just gone and punch through that motherfucking glass ceiling right there and see what it is. If you lose, you lose. Then move on to the next.
I'll put it to you this way: if you had either Taco Bell or McDonald's over the last 24 months, you can attempt to put money in stock, because you're already playing with your fucking digestive system any goddamn ways. So you can put some money in some goddamn stock. And I've had both. Okay.
So, I mean, we do it all the time, especially because there's always new shit coming out.
It's always new shit.
So way back when Amazon Prime came out and I first used it, and I didn't use it for a while. Then I finally used it. And I was like, oh, this shit is amazing.
Oh my gosh. My 14. Hey,
I can get this shit in a day.
my $14.06 came out today. I was not mad.
Yeah. So, I mean, So whenever you're using new services and things like that, the ones that are actually really good, you're like, this is dope. And it allows me to do something that I never did before, whatever the thing is. Then you prime your mind to be like, who owns this shit? And you go look it up. And it's some company. Sometimes it's the same name. Sometimes it's a whole different name that's not associated with them. But but I always tell people to break it down. This is the last thing I'll say about it. But stop. It's not that complicated, right? It's a company is just a bigger version of a person, right? As Mitt Romney said, corporations are people too, my friend, right? So it's just a bigger version of a person. So if you were looking at a person and trying to figure out if that person was healthy financially, what would you look at? How much debt do they have? How much cash do they have? How much cash flow is in terms of, for us, that would be a job, right? That's how we get our cash flows. And that's it. That's all it is. And so you can look at it, and if you don't know, if you see the debt, you can look it up. And now it's so easy. Like you used to have to go through and you'd have to look at each balance sheet.
Right.
You can call it's called a debt ratio. You look up the debt ratio for every company. So if you want to buy Coke and you want to know, well, is this good? Like, what's their debt versus Pepsi or whatever? You can just type in debt ratio for Pepsi.
It is right at your fingertips.
And it's right there, and that gives you the ratio of their debt to their earnings. Boom.
Right.
And so now you know if they're healthy.
It's a conspiracy theory that those is fake news.
so it's so easy. Right there. People think it's so crazy, and there is a lot of craziness to it, and you get better at it as you go along. You learn, but it's really just positives and negatives. It's the cash flow. The same thing that makes people unhealthy financially, too little cash coming in or too much debt with cash going out. It's the same thing with companies, and you can see the same trend, and you can actually look at where have they been going and where's their industry going, and that's it. And are they even in a good business?
And look, and people, you can do this while you're taking a shit. You can do this while you're at the doctor's office. You can do this at the DMV.
Like if you're playing, what's the damn game? Some Crush, whatever.
Candy Crush.
Yeah.
What's the name of the damn Candy Crush? If you're playing Candy Crush on the toilet, you can do this shit.
Yeah. So like something, I'll give y'all another one. So like education is changing, right? So now the same shit that motherfuckers paid thousands of dollars to go to a university, you can go to udemy.com, you can go to Corsica.com, and you can get them same courses, not from Joe fucking Blow, from like there's a course from a Stanford professor who's teaching at Stanford right now.
Hey, give me one of the websites again.
And he's teaching a free course on Corsica. Now you can get a paid version of it if you want to get like a certificate or something. But the actual knowledge he's giving away.
What is it? Corsica.com?
It's that's Corsica. Or Coursera. Sorry, Coursera.
Okay, now you got to spell it.
Yeah. Coursera. Coursera. And all of these courses are associated with universities. So University of Texas is on there, Harvard's on there, Princeton, Stanford, giving it away.
They're giving the information. You have to go. Yeah.
Now, if you want that piece of paper, you're gonna have to pay them for it. But
that's fine.
Actual information, you won't have no proof that you did anything. But the actual information, if all you want to learn is the actual stuff, they're giving it away. And so one of the things is these sites are going to become very valuable because in the future, motherfuckers are not going to go spend 4 years somewhere to be a fucking accountant or whatever. There's going to be certain fields like a doctor, surgeon, where we need you to show up here and we need you to practice some things. But for a lot,
I'm trying to be an accountant.
Yeah, a lot of people, and there were a ton of people when I was in school. Not everybody is a fucking 18-year-old kid trying to have fun and experience life and shit. No, some motherfuckers are a 35-year-old mom who is kind of struggling, wants to go back to school, get a different thing, and she just wants to do the accountant shit. She doesn't need psychology. She doesn't need the fucking bullshit English.
Why do I need to go do English one-on-one? Like, motherfucker, get me to these numbers.
Yeah, and so in the future, she's going to be able to just take those and just pay for those. And because the information is the same across everywhere, she can probably do it online or even have a combo, but it's going to be way cheaper. And when I say way cheaper, I don't mean like you would have paid $15,000 in tuition and now it's $1,000. I mean like $15 a month. or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Subscription service.
Because
Hey, look,
it's
because-
one of
because-
those, because
well,
everything
real
is
quick, real
moving
quick.
right now.
Real
Okay,
quick,
my
something.
bad.
Like if you motherfuckers can pay $10, $15 for OnlyFans for this ragged ass pussy that you can see every two damn seconds, you can spend that $15 subscription to go get some extra bread. I'm just saying. Just saying.
So,
Because that's the thing about it. I know a lot of some pretty cool, pretty successful business people in their own field. And it's like, yeah, my degree, I don't even make no money off my degree. I make my money off my trade.
I mean, that's probably most people. That's probably most people. Like I said, except for maybe architects, engineers.
I wish I would have been a plumber in high school. But
hey man, look, I don't know. You still have to deal with shit. So
Man, you gotta deal with shit in every industry.
but you gotta deal with literal shit.
Literal shit. Yeah, that's why I did this. I gotta deal with this shit or I gotta deal with that shit.
At least you know the shit when you see it.
Yeah. I mean, look, they make good money. I had a plumber charge me. I had somebody, we just got a new dishwasher because our shit broke. And the dude came in and he found it was clogged up with some shit, which I figured because the water had been backing up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, I can just leave it and you can do it later, or I can do it for $80 and you won't have to worry about it. And I was like, fuck, I know I can do it, but he's here now and the pipes
and that's exactly what he took advantage of. I put the literal shit right now. That big man shit in your mind later on.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I never got.
And if I got the equipment for it, I'm ready for this shit. So
I ain't never got a whooping for the same thing twice. Anytime a technician or anybody, I'm looking, I'm like, man, that old simple ass shit. Man, I tell you what, I swear to God, I can do. Hey, what bit was that? That was 115? Okay. Already, man. I sure appreciate you coming through here today, man. Well, just give my number to anybody. Nah, nigga. I ain't giving your number to nobody. Shit. You just charged me $115 to change the pilot on my goddamn oven. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a lick.
Yeah, I mean it's a lick, but nevertheless, like I said, ultimately, I'm just glad that people are doing it, and I want to give a special shout out to Joe Biden, and the reason why I want to give a special shout out to Joe Biden is because
did he snip your head?
No, I haven't heard from this motherfucker since he became president. Thank you. Just leave me the fuck alone. Do what you need to do. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. At the same time, I mean, hey, look, man, keep doing
what you watching them sleep.
Pretty much, that's fine. Watch them sleep. I just need to make sure that I can do whatever it is that I need to do and don't have to worry about no extra shit, right? Yeah, I'm always stay protected and all this other shit.
Only thing I gotta say for you girls out there on Joe Biden, watch out for your sports because these niggas coming in and taking over.
We'll talk about that next week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Straight Meddlin Show 159. They taking over. Brittany Griner and her brother Nim.
Kiss your kids. You go out, you bust your butt every day as hard as you can. Give 100% effort so that people will give you an opportunity. You do everything right, and you go home and you.
Yeah!
It's on crack!
Don't we'll get on that shit a little bit later.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.